Hey guys, and welcome back to the Ecom Freedom YouTube channel. Today I'm here with Andrew Hoffman, who is the Amazon FBA mentor alongside myself. Today we got Mike. Mike is a student here at Ecom Freedom, and over the last few months, he's been killing it on Amazon. Basically, we've been working with Mike for the last. When did you join the course, Mike? In 2022?
Last year in August.
Okay, so
Last year.
2021.
Yeah.
Okay, right on. So Mike's been around for about a year and a little bit right now. So yeah, we're just gonna kind of peel back the curtain on a bit of Mike's story and see where he's at. Just to get the ball rolling here, Mike. Why don't you just tell us a little bit about your story and what got you involved in e-commerce to start with?
Yeah, sure. So what got me involved with e-commerce was probably about 5 to 7 years ago. I came across that you can sell products on eBay. And I said, oh, wow, this is actually really interesting and cool. So what I did was I started to sell, my old games and like stuff I had like in my house in my room. And I remember my first sale I had, and it was such a cool feeling seeing that like sale go through. And then just I started a whole world of, opportunity for me, to kind of just like sell online, build income online. And then later, a few years later, I started to do like eBay drop shipping. And then as of last year in August to Amazon FBA, which I love. So yeah, it's kind of how I started off.
So we can see that you've done a great job with your sales and your brand so far, and you're still kind of increasing your product line and sales. But what would you say, I know we've had a lot of conversations, but what would you say has contributed most to the success that you've seen? I know your sales, I think they started out a little bit slow, and then you did some things, and then they kind of went up after a while.
Yeah.
What things have you done that has contributed to your success?
Yeah. So I launched my first product with Amazon FBA June 3rd, and then I wasn't actually prime available until June 14th. So from June up until late August, sales were, very slow. I was overspending on advertising, and I didn't really know. I watched all of the course, but I was a newbie and I was foolish. So I didn't really take it as seriously with optimizing and how much it was the cost per click and everything. And then just overall, I made a few mistakes. Slow sales from June up until late August. And then I decided after like checking out the market and like what's available and my advantages to my product. And then I thought of ways to actually improve the listing. So, how I improved overall was I got new photos from a photographer, because firstly, I just used, a few photos I gotten from the photographer over in China, but then I kind of just made them alone in Photoshop, which wasn't that great. And I got, super high quality photos from my photographer. And then I got a freelancer on Fiverr to kind of help me make a new title, new description, and new bullet points. So he helped a lot to kind of like refresh, the entire product as a whole. And then after I did that, and then really kind of just hammered away on optimizing my advertising, actually reducing my overall spend with the keywords and the campaigns, sales started to skyrocket. And I remember it was a Saturday in mid-September, and I got like 14 sales in a day. And I'm like, holy crap, when I would get like one or two or three prior to that. And I'm like, wow, it's finally working. Like, let's go. It's a great feeling.
So I guess the question that everybody's going to be asking Mike right now is, what was your best month on Amazon? Is it currently, we're in the end of Q4 here, 2022. Just give us some insight on what your best month has been so far, and if you think there's any reasons for that.
Yeah, 100% was definitely last month in November. Because, Black Friday, Cyber Monday sales skyrocketed. I made around 9,000 in revenue.
Okay.
And it was a great month when from that, and then from launching in June up until, late October, it was between 3,000 to 4,000. And then it just skyrocketed. And then now it's even still skyrocketing. And I actually just got my second inventory shipment in a few weeks back. And then Amazon started to already scan it in. And it's actually still active, which is great. So, I was almost out of stock with with 4 units left. And then now I have up to, around I think between 400 and change. So now I'm actually able to sell still through the end of this month into January. So that's a great feeling as well. Right. So I would say 100% was last month, was my highest month so far with FBA.
Awesome.
So for anyone just getting into e-commerce, what would you say your advice would be for them? Like, what are your maybe top 3 points when it comes to just starting up and kind of, finding a brand and finding a competitive advantage?
Yeah, one would be to 100% really enjoy the process. You have to really enjoy product research, finding something that you're interested in, and really enjoy, all of the work that's involved with, you see a product and like you find ways to improve it with an advantage. Like I would say 100%, that's like one of them. Secondly, I would say just really be strict with your advertising campaigns because mine got out of whack really quick. And like I was way overspending. My cost per click was insane at first, and I didn't realize. So just really just be strict with your amount that you want to spend with your advertising. Like set a strict amount and stick with it. And even if sales are slow at first, because obviously like there's a launching cost and there's a launch with it, just really stay strict with that. And then over time, sales will increase as you gain organic rank. Thirdly, I would say, just keep in mind, because I'm actually still having a hard time with this at times, as we had like, shared in the past, Andrew, is that remember that, there are days where sales are high and then like, days where sales are low. And like, we really can't be upset or we really can't be down if we have a slow sales day, because you might have a high sales day, like the day after. So just, the market is very volatile and you have to just, be mindful of that within e-commerce. Not all days are the same.
So I was going to say, like, the most interesting thing I found about your launch was it seemed like it was going slow, and then you optimized your listing with those new pictures and new descriptions and keywords, I assume. And generally speaking, in the past, I don't know, my experience has been that hasn't had quite as big an effect as it had on your listing. So I was just kind of really surprised to see that. And it's good to hear that, keeping the Amazon PPC under control and making sure that you're really conscious of that. It's quite interesting to see that effect on your listing. And, it's a good point. So
Obviously, in the course, we have some product research methods that we tell the students to use. However, a lot of times me and Andrew are like, guys, don't be afraid to deviate outside these product research methods because,
Right.
If there was a silver bullet here in e-commerce, we'd all be millionaires at the end of the day, right? But there's
Right.
not, right? So these kind of give, everybody a starting ground to get their feet wet when it comes to product research. But I guess the question that we have for you is, A, did you use any of these product research methods to get you going? B, did any of these product research methods result in you finding your product? And C, did these product research methods, kind of help you deviate? Like, for example, I found my first product while listening to a podcast, and my second one by watching a YouTube video. I seen something in the background, So did these product research methods kind of open up your eyes to always kind of be turned on to look for products and look how you can change them, I guess, in your everyday? That's a lot, but
Yeah. So absolutely, following the course, I tried all of the research techniques, the magic search and the like rabbit hole. And I found mine through the rabbit hole search. And it was great because I spent a month or so trying to find a product, found a few at first, had you and Andrew evaluate it. And the first one got rejected. And then the second one I was told that it would, there's a chance, but also it had some competition to it. And I was still able to find a way to stand out from the market, which was great. But yeah, so like I found mine through the rabbit hole search method.
keeping on the topic of the product itself, I think a lot of brand new sellers are really concerned about working with China and working with foreign suppliers, or even suppliers that are in the United States. Did you have any major issue with finding a supplier and working with a supplier, or what was that process like for you?
Yeah, for me, so with my product, which I launched, which I can now say is a success. Yeah, like I would say at first I reached out to about 40 suppliers, and then out of all of them, I just did bulk. I reached out to a lot of them, and I ordered samples about 5 of them. But like I first reached out to 40 because I thought that, well, all right, half of them are actually going to respond within a certain time frame, and then half of them will actually be okay with the cost, the margins, and then half of that will probably send a good sample. And like out of all of them, I found my supplier, which actually didn't even have my product on their actual page on Alibaba, actually sent a photo over to me of like, what exactly I wanted. And I was just shocked how it looked. I mean, like the photos of it looked great. And also offered like other accessories with the product. And I ordered the sample, I got it.
Cool.
And like I ordered a few other samples, and I knew just right away off of it that, I was the one. And then ever since last year working with them, it's been a breeze. we talk on Skype every week. We stay in touch. I ask about her family and her kids, and she helps to kind of just like reorder, inventory and just helps with the whole process of the deposit and everything. And it's really a fun process to work with.
They really make it easy for, people or, entrepreneurs that are in North America, in Europe, for that matter, who procure products from China, right? Like they literally handle basically everything. And at the end of the day, sometimes they even handle the logistics side of things, like when it comes to shipping your products, even the supplier will help you doing that, like, which is what
she did.
Yeah, right. So that's what we
It's
consider
awesome.
DDP, or delivered duties paid. There's
Yes,
obviously
that's
another method of getting a freight forwarder on board. I mean, this is just in the nature of the culture over there, them, kind of trying to help out the customers as much as they can. Another question for you, Mike. I guess this is just a question that involves like your learning and stuff like that. So if you were to, obviously, when we're all taking on new tasks and learning new things, we figure out better ways to streamline things and, make systems and, better optimized systems and all this kind of fun stuff, right? So if you were to do like, a few things different in e-commerce and, for that matter, what would they be? And I guess the second part of that question is, did you find that a course kind of helped you along? And, would you recommend a course to somebody else? Or do you think, kind of taking it by the wheels and reading up on e-commerce, you could figure it out yourself? What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, 100%. I think, there's insane value within a course because it just streamlines the knowledge for you, and it's all in one place. And then especially having access to a Facebook group is insanely valuable. And then having mentorship with yourself and Andrew has been insane for my acceleration of my success, basically, because without you guys helping me along the way with my specific questions, I would have probably, failed a long time ago. And, the courses are insanely valuable. I mean, all of you guys and Dan has put in so much time and effort into it. And I think without that, I wouldn't be halfway, where I am right now. And it's been insane.
So Mike, if you were to do, a couple things different, if anything, kind of what would they be? Like, what would you recommend they be? Or, yourself, what would they be?
Yeah, it's like, it's almost kind of like how I said it earlier, somewhat. It would be the first to start off at launch with, high quality photos, from an actual photographer, not just do it in Photoshop. I mean, like I tried alone, which wasted a lot of time and money. And then again, be strict with advertising with my campaigns instead of a strict amount of how much I want to spend. And then basically not waste, funds foolishly about like, between $5 to $8 a click, which is insane for like, how I started off. But then now I have adjusted and learned, I learned the hard way, but it's been like, so important. All of the, struggle and the challenges and then everything I learned in the course and with you guys has really taught me so much and shaped me. And then how I'm going to advance this following year. So yeah, that's what I would say.
So what are your future plans within e-commerce and your brand? Are you planning on expanding the brand? Are you going to add new products? Or are you going to take your product omni-channel? In other words, sell it on multiple different sales channels, Etsy, eBay, Walmart, wherever?
Yeah, so my plan with my existing brand is to hopefully scale into the 7 figures a year mark over the next maybe 4 years. And then in terms of omnichannel, as of right now, I sell on eBay, and then 10 actually sells extremely well. I'd probably say between 10 or so, sales a month, which honestly isn't extreme, but like on eBay is great, and because there's no real advertising on there, except for promotional costs, which is like extremely cheap compared to advertising with Amazon. And then I'm trying to also get into Walmart Marketplace right now. And then and then also now because I want to also expand this following year onto Shopify and like launch a Shopify store, possibly reach out to some other online e-commerce websites who sell within my niche, and then see if I could, get on there. And as well, I actually filed this week with Ecom Freedom lawyer, he trademarked my brand, which is awesome. So I mean that's in the works now. So hopefully I'll have that, the number hopefully within a few weeks, and then I can start to use brand registry within Amazon, which is huge, as you guys know. So yeah, very exciting stuff in the works.
So Mike, I don't know if you just mentioned this, but do you have plans to expand your product line over the next year? Like how many products do you want to kind of bring to market? I assume you're going to kind of
Yeah,
want to keep it local in your brand.
yeah, it's a great question, Jeff. Yeah, so like I do like hope to expand this following year, an extra hopefully between 2 to 4 products, all
Right.
depending on like cash flow, investments, like any kind of stuff like that, because that's obviously a huge hurdle
Right.
as you guys know. So yeah, like and I actually have a second product hopefully in the works. It's off of my like initial product. It's
Right.
just larger and like in the same niche, obviously,
Cool.
and hopefully I can have that launched by February, March,
Oh,
after
awesome.
Chinese New Year,
Yeah.
and because I'm starting off with a very small like inventory amount, and like it'll be like a test shipment to see
Right.
how the market responds to it. It's 200 units, and if it sells well, everything, and then I'm gonna obviously like put in a larger order for like
Hmm.
April, May, and then yeah. So yes, I plan on hopefully expanding to between 2 and 4 products this year in small amounts at first because cash flow, and if it actually proves to be a success, somewhat, then I'll order more inventory after that point.
Awesome. See, that's one thing that I find a lot of the people, on YouTube and all these gurus and stuff, they don't really talk about like okay, when you get a product and it starts working, like then what? Like, especially from a cash flow perspective, right? Like cash flow in e-commerce and physical product business for that matter is so crucial. It is so like I find it so not talked about in this industry. But like when it comes to, you launch a product and it starts to do well, and then you get capped because the supply is there, but you cannot fulfill the demand because your hands are tied with, right? Like you put in an order and then 4 months later it gets to Amazon. It takes you,
Right.
2 months to sell your inventory, right? You have 2 months of void inventory. So it takes about a year. Let's just say you brought a product to market that really, really caught off to get that, inventory forecasting under control and cash flow forecasting under control. I know, Andrew, you're
Yeah.
always preaching that in the course and to the students.
Oh, I am. I mean, well, it is. You're right. It is so difficult. And I mean, it's difficult, and it takes a lot of careful management of the numbers, and it takes time. But it is like an exponential curve, especially when you're making profit. So it's just the name of the business. I mean, either take the time to let that cash reserve pile up, or you
Right.
start out with a giant cash flow. But no, not many. We didn't have like a huge amount to start with, so it took us a little while to build that up,
Yeah.
and that's perfectly fine. Yep.
All
That's
part of it.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So with that, I hope you guys enjoyed Mike's story. Thank you so much for coming on the call tonight, Mike. It's been fantastic. Andrew, yourself as well. Lots of value here, guys. If you guys enjoyed Mike's story and kind of want to get involved in e-commerce, feel free to check out the links in the bio of this YouTube video. We offer a free trial for both the Shopify and Amazon FBA courses that are available under the Ecom Freedom umbrella. This interview with Mike is specifically for Amazon FBA. So, if you guys want to get involved in the community and, kind of see what the course is all about, just click those links and feel free to come on. If you like this video and like content like this, just give us a like and a subscribe. It really helps out the algorithm and the YouTube channel. But with that, everybody have a fantastic day. We'll see you later, Mike, Andrew.
See you guys.